Let's walk down a quiet street late at night. You pass an old wooden door standing alone in the middle of nowhere. No walls, no house, just a door. On its surface is engraved a single sentence. This door opens both ways. At first, the statement seems obvious. Most doors do. But then you hesitate. If a door opens both ways, then stepping through it changes not only where you arrive, it also changes where you came from. This impossible image hides one of philosophy's strangest ideas. Every choice you make shapes both your future and your past, not literally, but psychologically, morally, even historically. Today we'll explore why philosophers, psychologists, and even modern physics suggest that the story of your life is not written only from beginning to end. Sometimes it is written backward. We think time flows one way. Our minds love straight lines: birth, childhood, school, career, old age, death. Cause comes before effect. Yesterday creates today. Today creates tomorrow. Simple. Or so it seems. But memory doesn't work like this. Think about your childhood. Were you happy? You might instantly answer yes. But ask yourself another question. Would you have answered the same way 10 years ago? Probably not. Every new experience quietly rewrites the meaning of old experiences. The event stays the same. Its meaning changes. A painful breakup can later become the greatest gift of your life. A promotion once celebrated may eventually become the beginning of years of misery. The past remains untouched, yet somehow it feels different. Philosopher Hans-Georg Gadamer argued that understanding is never fixed. We constantly reinterpret earlier events through the lens of later experiences. The past does not change, the story does. And because humans live through stories, the past itself seems transformed. Borges' Infinite Garden. Imagine walking into a garden unlike any ever built. Every path splits into two. Then those two split again, and again, forever. Most gardens ask you to choose one direction. This one refuses. Every possible decision exists simultaneously. This was the vision of Argentine writer Jorge Luis Borges in The Garden of Forking Paths. He imagined reality not as a single road, but as an endless maze where every choice creates another world. In one universe, you become the artist. In another, the entrepreneur. In another, you never leave home. Every version of you continues walking. The unsettling question isn't whether these worlds exist, it's what this idea reveals about the one you're living now. Every decision closes countless invisible doors, while opening one that becomes your life. And here's the strange part. Once you've walked far enough, the path behind you suddenly seems inevitable. The choices that once felt uncertain begin to look as though they were always meant to happen. Your present quietly rewrites the story of your past, not because history changes, but because meaning does. The road you're standing on becomes the explanation for every road you didn't take. The door opens forward, toward possibility, and backward, toward understanding. The psychology of reverse meaning. Modern psychology repeatedly discovers something philosophers suspected centuries ago. Meaning often arrives after events, not before. Imagine two soldiers surviving the same war. One spends decades consumed by trauma. The other eventually dedicates his life to preventing future conflicts. Both experienced identical events, yet those experiences become entirely different lives. Why? Because the future assigns meaning to the past. Psychologist Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps. He observed that suffering itself was not enough to destroy people. Meaninglessness was. Those who could connect suffering to a future purpose often found astonishing resilience. The future became the lens through which unbearable memories became bearable. Again, the door swings both directions. The strange physics of time. Now the story becomes even stranger. Some interpretations of modern physics challenge our deepest assumptions about time. In everyday life, causes always precede effects. Drop a glass, it shatters. Simple. But in quantum physics, certain equations work equally well whether time moves forward or backward. Some interpretations even explore the possibility that future conditions help determine present outcomes. This does not mean tomorrow literally changes yesterday, nor does it prove time travel. but it reminds us of something profoundly humbling. Reality itself may be less one-directional than our intuition suggests. Perhaps our experience of time is only one perspective among many. The universe may be stranger than our common sense allows. Identity is written backward. Imagine reading a mystery novel. On page 10, a character seems ordinary. On the final page, you discover they were the mastermind all along. Now return to page 10. Nothing has changed. Every word is identical, yet everything feels different. Your knowledge of the ending transforms the beginning. Human identity works similarly. Who were you at 16? The answer depends partly on who you become at 60. The meaning of early failures cannot be separated from later victories. Likewise, early successes may become the seeds of eventual tragedy. Identity is never finished. Every future chapter quietly edits every previous one. We imagine ourselves as books written from page 1 onward, but perhaps we are books continually rewritten by the ending. The ethical door. This strange idea carries enormous moral consequences. Many people believe redemption is impossible. They define themselves by their worst mistake. One betrayal, one addiction, one crime, one moment of weakness, forever. But what if your next decision changes the meaning of every previous decision? A criminal who spends decades saving lives does not erase his crime, yet history remembers him differently. A failed scientist who later discovers a cure changes how every earlier failure is interpreted. Failure becomes preparation. Suffering becomes education. Loss becomes transformation. The facts remain. Meaning evolves. This is not rewriting history, it is completing it. A sentence cannot be understood before it ends. Perhaps neither can a life. The door before you. Imagine once more that mysterious door. This door opens both ways. At first it seemed impossible. Now, perhaps it feels strangely familiar. Every morning you step toward the future. But the future is not the only thing that changes. As you grow wiser, your childhood changes. As you forgive, old wounds soften. As you succeed, past failures become necessary chapters. As you fail, past victories gain new meanings. You never stop rewriting the story you tell yourself. The facts remain fixed, but the person interpreting them never stops changing. Perhaps that is what maturity truly is. Not escaping your past, but becoming someone capable of reading it differently. The door opens forward, toward possibility. It also opens backward, toward understanding. Every step into tomorrow quietly transforms yesterday. So ask yourself one final question. If your future self could walk back through that invisible door, what story would they tell about the life you're living today? Because perhaps the greatest philosophical mystery is not whether time flows in one direction, but whether meaning ever does. And somewhere, in the silence between memory and possibility, the door is still waiting. It has always been open, both ways.